Hey guys, welcome to my channel. And Joe, what do I do on my channel?
I don't know.
Welcome to my YouTube channel where I don't know, travel, food, and perspectives. So the goal today is gonna show you how I pack for international travel, especially for extended durations of time. Now, there's not a lot of things in life that I'm really good at. This is one of them. I've gotten packing into an absolute science. You don't wanna be like my friend David, who literally takes a suitcase, opens it, and throws everything in and tries to zip it. It's not the way to do it. I think this video is even more important right now because with COVID ending, people are traveling a lot more. But not just traveling, you have people that are now previously not remote, now are remote, and people who aren't even in remote jobs are leaving in order to apply for jobs that are remote. So for example, Joanne right here has a women's architect group. And Joe, in your group, how many people are looking for remote work?
Can you not put me in the video?
And that's the end of Joanne for this video entirely. Point is, everyone's looking for new work right now, and being able to have all of your belongings in 1 or 2 bags, being able to keep it organized where you don't lose it, where you know where everything is, where in a hot minute you can get out of a place and go somewhere else, I think is a very valuable thing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's this thing on YouTube. It's like the cult of minimalism. YouTubers like Matt Day, who are extremely talented, go into hyper minimalism. And I've always felt, looking at these kind of very hyper minimal channels, that minimalism becomes an excess. If it's something that you're actively seeking, it's just sort of another thing that you have to carry along with you. My message to you isn't that you need to be minimalist and you need to remove as much stuff from your life. I think that's kind of BS, to be honest with you. It's more about being able to enjoy your life as you want it without worrying about a couch. And in fact, I'll tell you a story about one. It was 2017. In my circle of friends, there's this guy named Tim. Now at this point, all of us were overseas. We're in Thailand, Japan, Jakarta. We were traveling around, having great experiences. It was one of the most fun times of our lives before COVID hit and ruined everything. But during that time, Tim wanted to join us. The problem was Tim just got a new apartment and bought himself a new couch. He put a lot of money into it and he didn't want to leave to come hang out with us in Thailand until he sold it. The end result was Tim lost almost an entire year of hanging out, a year of rich experiences that he lost out on. He could have forged friendships with many new people that we met. But most importantly, he could have been out in the world becoming a more enriched person, which I think is so radically important. But no, Tim was at home with his couch. Everything is remote. If you don't have remote work, you can get remote work. Don't be Tim. Don't have couches. Don't get crazy expensive apartments. There's no reason for you to be stuck or bound where you were born. And all of that is sort of meaningless if you don't know how to properly pack your bag, which is the point of the video, not couches. So before I go any further, let me show you the actual bags that I'll be taking, and then we'll get into the tips on how to properly pack them. So the first bag I have is my everyday Peak Design camera bag here. So this has all of my camera equipment, good stuff like that. The second bag is my check-in bag, which is my shuttle Osprey. This bag is your heavy hitter. This is where you're gonna be keeping your clothes, all stuff like that. These bags aren't exactly cheap, but you're gonna be living out of them. In a way, this is like your apartment. So I recommend that you don't get those flimsy, crappy bags. You want nice big bags like this that have big, rugged tires that will really make sure that it's easy to bring this bag around. You won't have problems with it. And a bag like this actually cinches down, as you'll see soon, that keeps everything inside really secure, which is very important. It also has a ton of space. The idea is to pack light, but to have as much extra room as possible. All right, we're gonna start with the shuttle, the big one. All right, tip number 1 with packing for international travel is to make sure that all of your items are properly cubed up. Mise en place is an idea in French cooking where everything has its place. We want to adopt the same mentality when it comes to packing. And you'll notice that everything is cubed. So let's go through all of this together. First off, we have my little Osprey cube here. Inside, it will have all of my boxers. So this is my boxer cube. That way I know when I get to an Airbnb or wherever I'm traveling, this thing, which hangs up on a door or a hook or in a closet, always has my boxers. Moving along, I have my next packing cube. This one is for pants. So again, I know I have my pants, I have my boxers, and I'm good to go. Those, I always know where they are. Same thing with my shirts. My shirts go in another packing cube. The other cool thing about keeping your clothes in these packing cubes is they become insulators. They can help protect any of the stuff in your bag that might be more delicate, like some stuff I'll show you soon. These act as a pillow to help any kind of shocks Speaking of which, we have this, which is my Bose speaker. So when I open this up, you're gonna notice that inside I also keep the wires and charger. They go at the bottom, and then that all wraps up together. So the question is, why do I keep the wires and the charger within this wrap? Or I could keep them, say, in a little compartment like this, or a little bag where they're housed separately. Well, that gets into my next tip, which is birds of a feather flock together. Basically, when you have one item, you want to keep all the stuff related to that one item in the same pack as that one item. The reason is really simple. When you're traveling, it's very hard to keep track of how many dirty socks you have or how much dirty underwear you have. When I pick this up, I can feel it and I know how many clean pieces of underwear about I have left to go. In here, I know how many shirts, more or less, I have before I run out. In the case of electronics, I know that everything I need for this speaker is always right in this bag. That way, I don't lose the wire. And trust me, I used to do that. I used to keep all my cables in like separate little cable containers rather than, with the items themselves. Birds of a feather flock together. Always make sure that you're keeping things compartmentalized. All right, so we'll keep moving. Next, I have this guy, and this camera cube from Peak Design, and I use this to store one of my video lights. Actually, this light right here is one of them. Third tip, anything that you leave inside your check-in, expect to be stolen. If you don't want to lose something, you do not put it in your check-in bag. People will snake their hands in, especially when you go to other countries. Anything in this bag can be stolen. That said, why am I keeping an expensive light in this bag? Well, I have insurance, so that can help. Still not the best idea in the world. I should probably bring this in my bag, my backpack, instead of leaving it in here, because again, you are taking a risk. Speaking of socks, pants, underwear, stuff like that, question is, how many should you bring? That's my next point. The magic number is 6. And let me tell you why. In any of these packing cubes, if you have 6 t-shirts, what it means is that you have 7 full days before you need to do laundry. Because one of the shirts you're wearing, and inside that cube, if you think about it, you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You have an even number of shirts in a little packing cube, so there's not unevenness on both of the sides. And if you have 7 shirts, then you should have 7 pairs of underwear and 7 pairs of socks. So that way you always know that you have a week's worth of clothing good to go for you. Pants are a little bit different. For me, the magic number for pants is 4. The reason is you have 2 pairs of pants, jeans, you have 1 pair of workout/swimming trunks, and then you have 1 pajama pants. So I've already told you guys about the importance of having little packing cubes for everything, but it actually goes further than that. So in these side pockets, I keep some other stuff that everyone needs to have when they travel. And what you'll notice is all of it comes in these little cloth bags or mesh bags. So everything has an individual little bag to keep it isolated and contained. We're basically creating a fractal here where you have a bag within a bag within a bag. The really cool thing about this is when you get to your hotel, unpacking is so easy. You literally just open your bag, you take your pants out, you put them in your drawer, you take your bags out, you put them on your desk, and you're done. You're unpacked just by spilling it out, and there's no mess at all. Everything is self-contained. Okay, so let's keep going through our big suitcase here and pull stuff out, and I'll talk about it one by one. Next thing I have here is my camera cleaner. Has, typical stuff that you'd have to clean your camera lens. Because I do video, I need to make sure that I can keep my lenses clean all the time, so that's kind of important. So these are the chargers for my beard trimmers. I use this, it's called Perfect Shave without having a razor. I don't have to worry about buying lots of head. This one head will last me maybe like 2 months or so. So for traveling, this is really nice because it can do everything. I can put a guard on it to get my beard a little bit shorter, but keep down here perfectly smooth, and it won't cut you or anything. This is a must-have. Up next, we have GoPro. All the GoPro accessories, chargers, all fit right into this bag. Super useful to have a GoPro. I really recommend it if you're gonna travel. They actually do a really good job for vlogging. You don't need a crazy camera like this, and even with me who has a crazy camera like this, I still end up using the GoPro a lot. The next tip is related to the next bag. When you travel, always make sure that you carry a medicine bag with you. This is so important. In 2017, I went to Thailand and got incredibly sick. It was not good. I had to go to the hospital, and it was a big deal. The thing is, had I had this, it would have made my life a lot better. So when I travel, I always make sure that I bring at least 1 week of medicine to help get through anything from food poisoning to a flu to COVID. So in this pack, I have my NyQuil, I have my Pepto-Bismol, I have my Theraflu. The last 2 are super important. I have cortisone. This helps with mosquito bites, itching, things like that. I have Lotrimin Ultra. Okay, this is an antifungal. If you go to humid places, sometimes you can get a jock itch or you can get something nasty and you're gonna be scratching at your dingus and you're gonna wish to God that you had antifungal stuff. And well, I do. We have one more pocket over here that we're gonna go through now. And as you can guess, it has little bags in it too. So let's open it up. First up, we have my medicine bag. We have hair gel in here, sunscreen, nail clippers, everything you'd need for your toiletries, no surprise there, and Windex wipes. This is for cleaning your computer screen. You have no idea how annoying it is to be traveling all over the place and your screen gets really gross and you can't see what you're typing. My next tip is to make sure that you keep your extra boots or shoes stored in a bag. Look, there are my boots. They're in this little Osprey shoe bag, so they fit right in there. The reason that you want to keep your shoes or boots in these little bags is because they get muddy, they get gross. Throw them into your suitcase, it's gonna spread the filth everywhere. Also, inside of one of these boots, you'll see that I keep this, which is a little container of powder that kills any kind of odor. That way we're never gonna forget. And every time we put these boots on, we're gonna have to take the odor thing out and put it back in, and we'll remember to put some powder in there too. That is our first bag. That's our check-in bag with all of our clothes, our boots, everything that we need packed right in there. So what I'm gonna do now is pack it for you and show you just how quick it is to pack when you follow my fractal method. Then what we're gonna do is get into our carry-on. So let's carry on. Sorry. Admit it, that's pretty cool. Other thing, notice that this bag has this mesh that I put my jacket in, things like that. Dirty laundry, I just put in this space right here that has a zipper. Doesn't have any mesh netting, so the smell doesn't get out. My next tip for you is make sure that you always leave way more room inside your bag than you think. The idea is as you travel, you're going to accumulate stuff, and you wanna make sure that your bag can accumulate way more stuff. Up next is my carry-on. And my carry-on is very different. So obviously I make a lot of YouTube videos, so my carry-on is designed primarily to carry camera stuff. But that said, there are a few tips here that I have for anyone that you really should keep in mind, especially if you carry equipment, cameras, things like that for YouTube. This is my Peak Design everyday bag. This bag is small enough that it can go under the seat in front of me. And one of the things that you find when you travel is some of the domestic local flights for small countries will actually not let you put stuff in the overhead bin. Now again, in here is the same philosophy, the same fractal philosophy. That's it, fractal philosophy. It's the same thing that's in this bag, okay? Lots of little bags that all fit in here with a few modifications. So first off, let's start with the outside of the bag and what's going on. I have my headphones. Now, these headphones from Apple are really nice, but the problem with them is they're really hard to pack. I keep these things. These are called Peak Design camera clips. And when I push down on this, they pop out and then it disconnects. That way, when I travel, they're always here at my side. I don't have to worry about them. And they're really easy just to clip right off like that and throw them on. And also to clip them back on at any point that I want. In here, I have this. This is probably one of the most important things that you can ever carry with you. This is your external battery pack. It's really important that you get one that can get on an airplane without too much problem. Some of these batteries get so big that you can't travel with them. Still on the outside, we have this. This is a pouch that I connect to it. This is really nice, by the way. Again, it's another Peak Design thing. And what this has in it is another pouch. This is all of my charging cables for my laptop. Just like everything else, this clips on using these Peak Design clips. So when I get on a plane, I can just unclip this, put the bag in my overhead, and then I could take this guy off for my seat back that has all of my chargers in it. You guys don't understand how much I love this stuff. I spend so much time getting my bag like perfectly packed, and I get so excited about sharing it. So let's open the top compartment here. This opens up. Inside we have kind of nothing. Right here is where my camera that I'm filming this goes. But you'll notice right here, there's an extra little flap that opens up, and that's where I keep my Rode wireless microphone. The same one I'm wearing here, there's actually two of them. Now it's time for the side compartments, which is really the main compartment. So we'll open these up. And again, you'll find just like everything else, everything is in little bags. So we open this up, we have a few things. This is that top compartment where my camera goes. You'll notice that there's some empty compartments right now. That's where all the lenses go that I'm currently filming this video with. My Nintendo Switch goes in this slot right here, which is perfect size. We have another camera. This is my film camera. I have an extra little bag that is extremely important. This bag is my next travel tip that I really urge you to have. Do not travel without this little case. So when I open it, what's inside? A few absolute necessities. First off, we have these. These are just wet wipes. They're called dude wipes. It's just basically a wet wipe to use in the bathroom. Next up, we have a little travel toothbrush. I've noticed that when people travel on flights, you'll be on the flight for like 12 hours, you never brush your teeth, but you're eating like chips and chocolate and all this stuff, so make sure you brush your teeth. No one wants to smell you in the next seat next to you. Of course, we have toothpaste, tiny little baby toothpaste. These are really easy to get. Most airlines will actually give them to you, but I keep them. That way, when I travel, I can have extras in case I get on an airline that doesn't have these. Now, all that stuff is important, but having this little bag isn't about those things. Those things are nice to haves, not need to haves. These are the need to haves. Always make sure that you keep these with your little bag. These are medicines for the airplane if something goes wrong. If you suddenly come down with a cold or flu or crazy pain or headache, you have one Dayquil and one NyQuil. You have Benadryl. If you get an allergy or you have an allergic reaction, maybe you get fed a new food that you haven't had before, especially true if you're flying on an international flight or you're in a different country. Always have Benadryl on you. And finally, the most important of all is to make sure that you carry Pepto-Bismol. This has not happened to me, but I can tell you from hearing stories, the worst thing that could ever happen on a flight is you getting diarrhea. All right, last up, stuff that you need to bring on the airplane. Open it up here. Laptop space in there, good to go. But here is some other stuff that I always bring with me. Passport, obviously. Keep your passport with you, keep it safe. Always bring it in a little case like this, so important. And let me tell you why. When I open this case, there's a few things that I have. One is a tile. If I lose my passport, this will help me find it. That has happened to me in Japan. I've lost this on a train before, and having this tile let me be able to track it down. If I didn't have this little booklet, this would not have been in my passport, it would have been lost. Next, I have my global entry card and $50 US that I keep behind it. That goes into this pocket. Right there, for an emergency, I have some spare cash. Obviously, I have my passport, and then if you have a COVID vaccination card or something like that, you can also keep it in your wallet. All of this goes into a little pouch, so it's safe. And then when I travel, I always have my passport with me in this little hidden compartment up here. Also in this hidden compartment, I have a few other things. One is this, which is my external hard drive. This you always want to travel with. This is my baby phone. This is a real working tiny phone. Hello. So small with the charging cable. When I get to a country, I always get a SIM card. You load one up in here, you can put one in your iPhone. But the advantage of having a second phone is if you ever get pickpocketed, if anything goes bad, if anything goes wrong, if you need to have an extra phone on you. Now, of course, if someone steals your stuff, they're gonna steal your backpack. But if you're walking around without your backpack, just your phone, it gets stolen, having a baby phone on you for emergencies, I mean, it really can save your life. The last tip I have for you is to make sure that when you travel, you bring these guys. These are TSA approved locks. Will these stop a thief? No. Will these stop someone from getting into your bag? No. But what these will do is act as a very low level, mild deterrent. It can also stop you from doing stupid stuff, like leaving your bag open and then walking around and stuff falls out, which has happened to me. Oh, hey. I forgot about one of my favorite things to show you. I can't believe I forgot this. Not really one of my tips in the video, but kind of illustrates my point of keeping everything together in one bag. This is my drone. Isn't that cool? Not just my drone, this is everything. This has the drone wires in it, extra propellers, all the accessories, but most importantly, when we open the main compartment here, it has the drone itself and the flight controller. And all of that fits in this tiny little bag that can be thrown anywhere. Remember this bag that clips onto my backpack on the back? Well, guess what? Not only can I put my chargers in here, but when I get to my location, I can take all the stuff out and then use this to carry my drone instead. Look, traveling is a complete pain. If you follow these tips, not only will everything be in its exact place, but you only have to spend 10 minutes to pack everything up. It's so fast and easy. Right, Joe? It took me a really long time to figure this out, and luckily you don't have to worry about it. You just get the information free. Yay, YouTube. Because I've traveled so much, I have all these weird tips on how to do everything from how to get more privacy in bathrooms at airports, how to get upgraded for free, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you want to see more videos like that, you can follow along. Also, if you've ever been curious what it's like flying first class in Qatar Airways, which they have that Q suite, which is basically a mini apartment that you get. I actually did a full video about that, which you can click. I think it's there or there. one of theirs. You can click that and check that video out. That was a lot of fun. And I hope that you'll subscribe if you want to see more travel videos, food, and my own life stories and perspectives. This week, I'm going to Panama and I'll be making tons of video there, so I can't wait to share those experiences with you. So thank you so much for following, and I'll catch you guys next time.